Welcome, welcome, welcome. Debs Cooper, global stressologist. Just make sure this works. I love technology. I think it's one of those things I actually have to say constantly to myself. As today we're talking about why you're exhausted even when you're sleeping enough. So let me just check on this one to see that this is actually still working. I would love to know that that's actually working. Looks like it is. So I'm going to be able to see any comments. All going well. All going well. I'm going to be able to see any comments. So we'll just see how that goes. But thank you for joining me. Just make sure I can get myself set up. This is one that I think I say this every week. It's actually really, really, really common. And I think we literally forget that how common this is. Growing up, you had to have the 8 hours of sleep a night. If you didn't get 8 hours, there's something wrong with you. Any of that sort of stuff. And I know as I got older, I realised, well, coffee was actually the thing. You'd wake up and you go, oh, I'm going to have a coffee and that'll get me through till a certain point. Whatever's going on emotionally or mentally, or you could be saying yes to a gazillion other people and nothing to yourself. But because of these actual wobbles that we have, this is why, I should put some sound here, this is why it can actually knock our whole sleep out of pattern. So let me just double check that we are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. That's great. All going well. I'm going to be able to see if you message me. Do you like the way I say all going well? Let's just see how that goes. So let me talk about, I've got some strategies to give you. So grab your note-taking device, whether that's a pencil, or a glitter pen, or whatever that is for you. But I'm going to give you a few things, and when I think about this, I want you to think about your mind and body and how it runs into overdrive. Because when we have hidden stresses, if I could say hidden stresses, they're not really that hidden, but sometimes we're a little bit blind or a little bit busy so we don't see it. But hidden stresses actually make our body run into overdrive. And things can happen like you're constantly thinking about what's going wrong, or you replay the conversations over and over again, or your brain never seems to switch off. People say that's actually ADHD. Their brain does switch off, just for the record, when we think about this. But I want you to think about this when you get into bed and you're lying there and you're just replaying everything over and over from your day, also playing everything that's happening tomorrow for your meeting. You're worrying about your finances, you're worrying about what you've eaten, you're worrying about what's going on tomorrow, any of those things. And you can just replay those conversations in your head over and over and over again. So this is a very simple one. And if you can do this, just this alone will shift so much for you. So before you go to bed, and you can do it in, look, I'm not fussed. If you want to do it in bed, do it in bed. If you don't, then don't. Whatever, people say don't do it here, don't do it here, whatever. The key is actually just to do it. So I want you to write down tomorrow's tasks before bed. Because when we're carrying them in our head, this is where we can get discombobulated. So write down what needs to be happening tomorrow. And you can write on a piece of paper. You can put it into your computer. You can write it into your notes. You can type it on your phone, any of this. I mean, personally, handwriting's a lot better before it goes to bed. But the truth is, as long as you get it out, what you're doing is you're taking out of here and putting it down. So what needs to be done tomorrow, write it down before you carry it in your head. Also with that, when you're writing that down, there might be some stuff that's going to come up. So you're going to ask yourself, is there anything I can do about this right now? Is there anything I can do about this right now? If not, you have to wait till tomorrow. That's it. That's all there is. But sometimes we can go, oh, I can just quickly do that. Be careful you don't do a lot of quickly do that, because when we're doing the quickly do that, that's when things get a little bit discombobulated. And also know that I say small moments, little moments, pockets of moments throughout your day to stop and breathe, and that just allows you to reset. Because when the stress accumulates, it can blow like, how would I put it? A pressure cooker. So, if you can take those little pockets throughout the day just to stop, breathe, hand on heart, reset, whatever works for you. Anything that it just allows your stresses to discombobulate. When the other strategy I'm going to give you is when we say yes to everyone else, it actually leaves nothing for you. It leaves nothing for you. And so these are things that can happen as you struggle to say no, your diary's full, but your cup is actually empty. You resent others for going out and doing things. You resent yourself for staying there. You resent yourself because you end up declining meetings and you can't do it. And so what tends to happen is it can throw us right out of our day. So you can spend an entire week, just think about this, spending an entire week driving children. Who's done that? I mean, I had one child, so I wasn't too bad, but I didn't have to jump all over the place. But you drive children around, you cook the dinner, you answer your friend who's in turmoil, you volunteer at the local school, you do this, you support your friends, all of this. When it comes to Friday, you're literally exhausted. Oh, today is Friday in New Zealand. You're literally exhausted. And you actually don't understand why. Because you haven't done anything for yourself. You're like, oh, I haven't done anything. You know those ones? So, before you say yes, this is a simple one. Before you say yes, I want you to pause before you agree. Or disagree. Just pause. Then what you can say is you can go, instead of saying yes, you can go, let me check my schedule first. It is that simple. It is that simple. Let me check my schedule first. Allows that chaos that's been sitting there to go down. Instant into the heart. Let me check my schedule first. And know that every time we say yes to someone can be a no to our well-being. Every time we say yes to somebody else, it can be a no to our well-being. How does that feel? Yeah, I know. I'm a firm believer on saying yes to people for certain things. I just have to clarify that. But there's also, is it actually great for my well-being? This one, this strategy I thought of last night when I was sitting peacefully on my couch, thinking about my tips to share with you today. And I'm discovering more and more people are waiting for the right moment or the holiday to recharge, or when this happens, I'm going to recharge, or when this happens, I'm going to read that book, when this happens, I'm going to do this. So if you're counting down your weekends and your holidays or anything that happens, or you only rest when you're sick, or even when you have a break and it's like not long enough, but I want you to look at this. I want you to think about this. I want you to create those mini recharge moments every day. You don't have to go to the holiday and have all the amazing time and the sleep, and even when you come back from holiday 2 days later you're exhausted again, you're back into the swing of things. So step outside for fresh air, or between meetings or whatever. I have an amazing little garden out there. I shouldn't say little garden, it's not that little. That I don't garden, I just have to clarify that. Thank you, Cheryl, for doing my gardening. But in my garden, I walk around my garden between my meetings, between my consults, when I just feel I have to get out of the office, whatever that is. I have an amazing office, I have a great view, but I do want to get out. Just opening the door leaves a different energy. So step outside for that fresh air. Go have a little wander, whatever that is, even if it's just to go to the toilet and back, or grab your water, whatever that is. But you want to recreate these little recharge moments, and you want to make sure that every day throughout the day. You want to stretch, you want to laugh, you want to listen to music. If you dance, what a bit of a dance, nothing like a good sing-along. Or you want to do something that generally lifts your energy. And by doing this, you're actually giving yourself permission to recharge. So when I talk about your recharge, I'm talking about what actually feels like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do right now to recharge by plugging in that battery. I'm just going to sit present, or I'm going to do this, whatever that is. So when we think about this, I want you to stop waiting for those holidays. Stop waiting for Friday so you can Saturday, Sunday go, oh yeah, I'm going to drink, do whatever that is, or even just, I just want to switch off and not talk to anybody. If you get into that point, go back and look at these strategies very, very, very quickly, or reach out to me, clearly. The next one I'm going to give you is a little alert of how disconnected what actually matters to us most. Because sometimes we can do things and we actually become disconnected, and we don't even know we're disconnected until we just feel like it's just one foot after the other. So when you feel you're too busy and you don't feel fulfilled, or you're doing something and it feels like an obligation, any of those things, or your motivation's disappeared, this is really, really, really common. Again, I often say this throughout, pretty much, you're human. You're human, so you're going to have human experiences in here. But what can happen is we can chase certain goals, we can chase certain things, we can become incredibly desperate, we can go down a path, a crazy path of what's going on in our world, anything like this. But what I want you to do is just pull back to yourself. Because when we pull back to ourselves, we are actually the one who are sleeping at night, making our decisions, whatever that is. So I want you to ask yourself, what generally gives you energy? What generally gives you energy? What is that? And that's a simple one. What generally gives you energy? I don't know what gives me energy. Then start taking a bloomin' look, because it's those things that we must do to keep functioning. And you're going to schedule appointments, activities, whatever you want to call them, but have them that they align to your values. Have them that they align to your values instead of squeezing them in one day. Oh, I'll do that one day. I'll read that book one day. I'll do that. Because clearly, if you're not doing that, if you're not reading that book, if you're not watching that podcast, if you're not writing those notes, if you're not building that dream of whatever you think you're going to do, it's not for you. Yeah, I'm just going to be very honest. It's not for you, because clearly you're not doing it. So when you schedule those activities, you're going to put them in your diary, but clearly, obviously, but you're going to make sure that they are things that you love to do. Don't do things that you don't love to do, because you're just going to get so depleted. It's going to be so hard for you, and you're going to get incredibly frustrated. So none of that. So we want nourishment in our life. We want liveness. We want a kick. So what you can do is you can set a timer. Every 30 minutes on your phone, anything like that, every 30 minutes on your phone, you can set a timer, and you can do something meaningful. Do something meaningful. If you're doing a task that's not meaningful, set the timer for 15 minutes. But do something meaningful. And when you do something meaningful, that can completely shift your mindset. That can shift your mindset to a very quick degree. Very, very quick degree. And that's really important, because we want to flip that. I know Tony Robbins talks about changing your state. It's like another way of changing your state. Right. So the other one I'm going to give you, now these are the ones that, I talk about often. And this is, don't take things personally. And even though I say this, I see people who still do this. So just because someone's in a mood, you think it's because of you. Someone's not talking to you because of you. You have one comment that they say and it throws you right out. Any of that stuff. So I want you to go back to this, and I want you to go, most people, actually all people, are dealing with their own challenges. Everybody has their own challenges. It doesn't matter what it is, where it is, but just know that they're dealing with their own challenges, and you don't know what's going on in their mind. And even if they tell you, even if they say I'm a 3 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, there's going to be something deeper going on. They're not going to tell you everything fully transparent. So when we think about this, I don't want you to create stories about them and you when there may be none. Because they're dealing with their stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean it's your stuff. I talk about this often. This is my glitter. This is my little Tomo drink bottle glitter. I love my drink bottle. I love my glitter moments. And I'm going to tell you to do more glitter bomb moments, whatever that is. If you feel like it's heavy, get your glitter. If you can't remember the time you're doing something, get your glitter. If you postpone things, get your glitter. Anything that lights you up. All of these, they can be seen as tiny moments, but they're actually not, because any tiny moment or large moment is actually a moment. And you want to be doing, intentionally creating those glitter bomb moments throughout your day. They're the ones that light you up. It could be a lipstick. It could be a perfume. It could be a drink bottle. It could be going outside in the thing. It could be drinking out of a different glass. Whatever that is, just know that whether it's big or small, it's an impact that you're having, and it doesn't have to be big to make a big difference. It actually just has to be an action. So do something that lights you up. Do something that lights you up throughout your day as you go along, because this is the things that keep you functioning. The other one I'm going to say to you is, you're not alone. We know this. We know that you're not alone. We know that you're not alone. You think everyone else is coping better than you. You look at social media. You keep your struggles hidden, anything. I was in Sydney last weekend, and I told somebody I had a wobble, and it was quite a brutal wobble over the Christmas period. And I was sharing, and they were just like, wow, I didn't think you had wobbles like this. I'm like, of course I have wobbles. I'm a human being. Remembering that. That's why you can't take things personally as well. So, when I think about this, just know that there's somebody there for you. You know who I'm going to suggest. Who do you think this is? Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. Reach out. Have a conversation. Ask for support. Ask for guidance. Often what we do is we think that others don't have it. I'm unique. No one's going to deal with this. You'll be surprised at what I've dealt with over my 20 years of doing this. But just know that I can give you a clear strategy to get you out of your funk, and it can be instant. It can be instant. It depends on you, clearly, but it can be instant. Straight away can take you from there. So when we think about this, I've given you some great little blurb here of how to deal with sleep. But if there's one thing I'd love you to take away from today, it's this. Exhaustion is human nature, just for the record, is human nature. But it isn't a sign that you need more sleep. Exhaustion is not a sign you need more sleep. It's a sign that you need more boundaries, more purpose, more joy, more alignment, and those things that truly matter to you. Those things that truly matter. Your body is incredibly wise. It whispers before it screams. So when we're thinking how we're doing this, I want you to go back to this. So instead of asking yourself, how can I push through? How can I get my body to do whatever this is? Perhaps ask yourself, what is my exhaustion trying to teach me? What is my exhaustion trying to teach me? Just those little things. Because when you actually start listening, you ask the question, you start listening, you make small little changes all the way. You're giving yourself permission to recharge. You don't just get your energy back. We know that. You actually get your life back. And I'm here to get you back on track with your life. So, when I think about this, why you're exhausted even when you're sleeping enough, I trust these strategies I gave you give you something. I trust that you're going to get through this, but please, if you don't, I want you to reach out to me. I am here for you. Clearly, Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. 20 years in the job, and could not think of anything other than I'd like to help people with. So, go back, define those little things that are going on. I keep looking at my thing because I keep seeing somebody move and it's actually me on the other computer. No comments today yet. Jump in, give myself a comment, let me know what one your favourite one is. But thank you for today. Why you're exhausted even when you're sleeping enough. Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist, signing off for today. Thank you, everybody. Bye.